Boop.
Boop.
You know it's hot out here?
Yes, it is very.
If you've spent any time at all on the internet, you've definitely heard of people called predators. Just like animals, these predators look for people weaker than them, more vulnerable, people they can manipulate, and sometimes even abuse. But what happens when you live with one and even call him daddy? Every waking moment of your life as a child is at the mercy of one man's lust and immoral desires.
So.
Jaden! They're called trolls because they look like one, so it's best to run away. Jaden!
Jaden?
A father who should be the chief protector of his daughter, teaching her about life, love, and boys, decides that all that affection should go his way, grooming his own daughter to have more physical contact with him than anyone else. What is society to expect when a mother stands by idly, watching her husband behave inappropriately with the child they had together?
Come back over here. Why would I chew on my tongue? What? Why would I chew on my tongue?
Really?
What?
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's too hot for this.
I don't care.
I do.
Bye.
It was like she was being controlled, just going along with it without a second thought. She even started defending this awful behavior, which is just so hard to watch and honestly makes the whole thing even more questionable. And the worst part is that all this is happening out in the open on social media for the world to see. It's all just sitting there, completely public for everyone to judge and pick apart, with no privacy at all. The idea that parents should raise kids the right way has a dangerous assumption behind it, and it's the assumption that all parents are good people. Parents have one job: to train and nurture their kids to be good people with good morals and to be stand-up members of society. Sadly, not all parents know this. In this video, we take a dive into the truly gross and unsettling story behind the so-called daddy-daughter dream team. With the two main characters of this horrid story, the phrase "daddy's little girl" takes a dark meaning. The daddy-daughter dream team is a duo of Patrick and Sarah Getchell.
Hello everyone, I'm Sarah and this is my dad Patrick.
We love to dance together.
And lip sync.
And get a little crazy sometimes.
Well, you do that normally.
You call me crazy?
If the shoe fits.
True. Anyway, we want to share that love with all of you.
And we're super close too, so this is easy for us.
So, enjoy the content.
And let's all have fun together.
The father and daughter pair have caused quite a ruckus on the internet with their very disturbing relationship played out through cringe videos where they try on so many failed transitions and horrible dance routines. It's not uncommon to see parents have super close relationships with their kids. We have mothers who are very close to their sons and even get involved in creating content together. There are also fathers who work together with their daughters to create content. So the problem here really isn't about families coming together to put stuff out together. In the case of Patrick and Sarah, the real cause for concern comes from watching their strange and uncomfortable interactions whenever we see them together on screen. Their relationship just comes off as being way more intense and intimate than a normal, healthy father and daughter relationship should ever be.
You guys seem very similar, your personalities, the way that you guys talk to each other. It is very different though. Patrick talks to Teresa. Okay, truth is, you guys, the way you two act together would be how a couple would act. I'm laying it out there. It does.
I'm the first child. I'm the baby. I was born on Father's Day. There's a connection here that a lot of people don't understand.
I think it stems a lot from the fact that we are so close to being almost identical. We're almost like twins.
We finish each other's sentences sometimes.
It's natural for us. And I can see it. I've seen the videos. I can see where people see it. But it's not easy for us to not be like that because that's how we've been our whole life. Her whole life. Well, not her whole life.
No,
but she was.
It almost gives off the vibe that something quite unsettling and just not right is secretly going on behind the scenes within that family dynamic.
Hi, Nikki. I'm still here. Trust me. Just letting her handle most of social media.
Sarah's discomfort can be clearly seen as Patrick approaches her to put his hands on her. It's not a reaction that would be seen in a healthy father and daughter relationship, and this characterized most of the videos where both of them are seen together. Patrick is fond of being too physical with her, and in ways he really shouldn't, like in this video where he breaks her fall by putting his hands a whole lot lower than he should. Dance routines where the lady leans back and is caught by the man are very common, but one thing that you don't see other people do is catch the lady the way Patrick did. Her whole back was there for him to place his hand, even her waist if he wanted to. But lower than that? That is grossly inappropriate for a father. Very perverted, if I might add.
If you hurt my girl, you will answer directly to me. And whatever crimes I commit against you, remember, I have diplomatic immunity in 46 countries, including Puerto Rico.
Sir, you will find that the word fear is not in my vocabulary.
Perhaps, but it's in your eyes.
There goes that obvious discomfort on Sarah's face. Patrick is trying too hard to be the cool dad, but he's doing that without boundaries. The way he holds her and the look on her face says a lot about the relationship between them. Sarah knows, or at least knew at some point, that it was off, but not Patrick. He appears unconcerned about his actions. One of the weirdest videos that got tongues wagging was one where he proposed to his daughter with a purity ring. And no, you didn't hear wrongly. It was an actual proposal.
Okay, guys. We got something special for you, so please don't go anywhere. Stop scrolling, alright? So, I am about to give Sarah a purity ring, but I'm going to do it in a very special way. I am actually going to make it look like a marriage proposal. Now, don't get the wrong idea, it's not a marriage proposal. Okay, this is just... I'm very grateful that she has remained pure to this point and is continuing to remain pure, and I want to give this to her as a sign that I'm proud of her. There it is. She's gonna love it.
Of course, it's completely understandable to be proud of your daughter for choosing abstinence. No one would blame you for that feeling. But giving her a ring and turning it into a kind of proposal? That's where it starts to feel strange. His excitement about the whole situation seems over the top and misplaced. It's the kind of gesture you'd expect from a partner, not a father, and that's what makes it so uncomfortable to watch.
What?
I want to give you something.
Okay.
Okay? So, Sarah.
Yeah. What are you doing? What? What is this?
Sarah, will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise to God and to me to remain pure until the day you're married?
Yes. That is gorgeous.
Give me your left hand. Okay. This ring will remain on your left ring finger until the day your husband puts another ring there in its place. It's a sign that you will remain pure.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you too.
Sweet girl.
I like it.
Absolutely nothing about this so-called proposal was anywhere close to normal. The entire show was completely unnecessary and deeply cringe from start to finish. And if we're being honest, this is the exact trend that defines the vast majority of their content. They consistently produce these weird videos that leave you either speechless or straight up disgusted, making you seriously question the judgment and sanity of every single person on screen, with a special focus on Patrick himself, who always seems to be at the very center of the strangeness. As a dad, he's been seen way too many times putting his hands all over his daughter in a manner that just feels inappropriate. If he's not constantly rubbing her shoulders for far too long, then he's awkwardly hugging her from behind, trying anything just to be overly handsy with her. The sheer frequency and nature of Patrick's physical interactions are very uncomfortable and difficult to watch.
Oop.
Oop.
You know it's hot out here.
Yes, it is very. Getting dark.
Yeah, I think we better end here. We'll be back. We'll be back either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't decided which one yet.
Yep.
One of those days.
One of those days we'll be back on live.
Yep.
So you will definitely see us either Saturday or Sunday.
Yes. Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Sunday. Well, good luck, Maddie. That sounds like fun.
Start the fire again. Get some smoke over here.
Let's be honest here, this is genuinely hard to watch and makes you feel uneasy. What's with all the constant touching and rubbing that seems to have no real reason behind it? He's clearly trying way too hard to get close to her in a way that feels forced. The phone they were using for the video could have been moved back very easily to get a wider frame and capture them both comfortably. But he deliberately chose to snuggle close to Sarah instead, even leaning his full weight against her and somehow getting a kiss on the forehead from her in that position. Dads out here watching this, you have to agree, this is just not normal dad behavior at all, right?
Ohana means family.
Oh, that's Dutch.
Yes, that's it.
Tiny Dinies.
Well, I was just reading what it said.
Glasses.
Well, you always look weird.
With them.
You are one lucky.
No.
Even the way he looks at her is totally not normal. A TikTok user named Danya C also made this observation. The way he looks at her is not normal.
Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. Now I gotta find a marker.
No.
Jigglypuff.
You are not drawing on my face.
Why not? I'll make your face look nice and pretty.
I don't need to
I'll put some red marker on your lips.
I don't need to look pretty. I'm a man. I need to look not all drawn on.
Excuse me. What? Pikachu.
Yeah?
Oh,
Again, see how he looks at her, and sadly how she looks back at him. She now feels like this is normal, when in fact, it's not. Another user wrote, "He looks at her like my husband looks at me when we're drunk, and he's ready."
2, 3. We need to choose love. We can't go without it. Remember how much power it has, and never forget. We need to choose love every second. It is always right, never wrong. Love is the way we were meant to feel. Almost screwed up that last line. And that's...
Again, it's all in the way he constantly looks at her. It's that specific, intense look you see in movies, where a man is totally in love or terribly infatuated by the sight of the woman he has set his sight on. It's that unmistakable look of, I want you and I will have you. A kind of gaze that is only appropriate for lovers or for people with clear potential of becoming lovers. It's simply not the look a father is ever supposed to give his own daughter. His eyes are constantly staring at her lips like they're objects of his affection. A fixed and unsettling gaze that feels completely out of place. It's utterly disgusting to see, and it's totally sad and heartbreaking to watch all of this play out. No daughter should ever have to be put in a position like this, especially not her own father, whose sworn duty is to protect her from other people his own age who might look at her in the very same way. One user made a very interesting comment which should get anyone really thinking. As someone who had a father like this, it's exactly what you think. His eyes, his body language. Unfortunately, she's too far gone, thinking it's normal, and her mother doesn't have the mentality to understand. The bit about her mother raises some concerns, because where exactly is she? What is she doing about all of this? Why is it normal or even allowed at all? While it's understandable that their brand of content is a father-daughter thing, so his wife won't be featured as much, it's weird that even in the videos where she does appear, Patrick is still more interested in his daughter, in every sense of the word interested.
Come back over here. Why would I chew on my tongue? What? Why would I chew on my tongue?
Really?
What?
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's too hot for this.
I don't care.
I do.
Bye.
Notice how completely dismissive he is of his wife's involvement and her simple attempt at affection. His big reason for not wanting to be in the embrace of his own wife is just that it's a little hot outside. Mind you, Patrick clearly has no problems with hugs at all, especially when they came directly from his daughter, regardless of the time of day or whether or not they were standing out in the sun together. But once it's from sweet, poor Teresa, who is his actual partner, the elements of nature have a role to play. How convenient.
They're on here giving us comments and engagement and boosting our live for nothing.
This is still from the very same day he made a huge fuss about being hugged by his wife because it was too hot outside, and he didn't want the physical contact. But somehow he had absolutely no problem at all being that incredibly close to Sarah, with their bodies pressed together in such close contact for everyone to see. Ideally, that kind of proximity in the heat should have caused him to complain even more. But I think we've already clearly established the obvious fact that he is far more affectionate towards his daughter than should ever be morally allowed between a father and his child. But the aching question still remains. Why does Teresa allow this sort of behavior from her husband? Is it all intentional? Is she even unaware? Hell, maybe there's an underlying, almost unnoticed problem that doesn't get called out so much. Well, while there are no publicly published medical reports on Teresa's state of mind, we can see there's something off about how her family relates with her.
Cut it. Are you cutting it yet?
Yes.
So while she's cutting that, I want to thank everybody for showing up in live tonight and supporting her. It was amazing to see how much you all love Teresa. We are so thankful for that.
Yes. Yes, thank you guys. Everybody who wished me a happy birthday and with all the birthday gifts and stuff too.
She might need a fork to get a piece off.
Yeah, she's also gonna need one to eat it too.
Can you hold that, sweetheart?
Yes.
Here we go. First slice of birthday cake.
This one's your guys's, and I'm gonna eat this one.
Okay.
Might be a little too much chocolate for you. Let's not totally destroy the diet.
Whoa.
She's a pro.
Okay, here, Hunter.
I'm not a pro. Well, maybe.
You're a pro at being a mother.
Thank you,
Aww.
sweetheart, my son. I love you.
What are you trying to butter her up for?
Yeah. Oops. Nothing.
Okay. I'll put this over here. I'm gonna get one more plate.
And then
You gotta cut one more slice.
I know.
Can you do it?
I think I can.
Once she has the knife.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yes.
Don't cut yourself now.
Ah!
Alright. And then once you cut your slice, I think everybody's gonna want to see you do a taste test.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So, it's Teresa's birthday. That's good, but that's not why we're looking at this clip. From how she holds the knife and even interacts with her family, it's clear that there's something different about the flow of communication compared to when it's just Sarah and her dad. Teresa is being spoken to like a child, almost like she processes things at a slower pace than the rest of them do. Also, there's another voice in the background that doesn't belong to either Sarah or Patrick. That's their son, Hunter. He doesn't appear in these videos, which might be a good thing seeing as their whole internet presence is troubling enough at this point. Do you think you can do it? Do you know what you're doing? Don't cut yourself. These are not things to say to a properly functioning grown-up woman who has given birth to 2 kids and is in the process of raising them. That's how you speak to someone who requires some special attention. And in some other videos, we'll see the same thing happen where Teresa is treated like the child of the family when there are actually kids there. Again, the way she's being addressed to attention too, like she's a helpless child who can't do anything for herself. It looks like the mom has become the daughter, and the daughter has been forced into the role of the mom. And there's everything quite unsettling and just backwards about their entire dynamic. Her birthday money? That's a grown woman right there, a fully developed adult who should be handling her own finances and life. Patrick and Sarah's relationship has come under fire so many times from concerned viewers, but every single time they've quickly denied any and all inappropriate happenings between them, insisting everything is perfectly normal.
So you want to know why I look so uncomfortable in the videos? Well, I'm about to tell you. So listen, and listen good. Number 1, I'm not underage. I'm almost 21. I will be 21 on Friday, so you people can stop telling me that I'm underage. Number 2, I am not looking for any sort of relationship on TikTok or anywhere else for that matter. I'm focused on myself, my schooling, and my career. My social media is not available to anybody, so you can stop asking. Number 3, my father is not creepy, weird, or doing anything he's not supposed to do. He's being a father. If you don't like that, you can leave. I love him, he loves me, we're doing something we love together, so you can stop making horrible accusations that are not true in the slightest.
Unfortunately, Teresa is sometimes used as a public shield in these denials, pulled out to try to douse the rising outrage of viewers who can see that something is clearly very wrong with the entire situation.
Hello, my name is Teresa. I was born in Haverhill, Mass. I'm 46 years old. My favorite colors are red and purple, and my favorite food is meatloaf, and my favorite place I went to was Paris.
It's heartbreaking to see how she's being toyed with by a husband who should be taking care of her and attending to her as she should be. If it's not clear enough, this person is not a child. At the time the video was recorded, she was 46 years old. But for some reason, she was out here telling the world her favorite food, color, and location. Sounds like what a child would do, right?
And I've been married for 24 years to my wonderful husband, and I have 2 wonderful kids, Sarah and Hunter, whom I love and super proud of. I work at fast food, and my favorite part of my job is helping customers. My family is the best part of my life. I love them, and I love spending time with them and going to the parks. I have the best kids and the best husband, and I'm the luckiest mom and wife. And I can't wait to see Hunter and Sarah achieve their dreams.
No, Teresa, you're neither the luckiest mom nor are you the luckiest wife. You're just blessed to not be able to recognize the ton of damage your husband is doing over there. And hopefully your children turn out well enough for you to actually be the luckiest mom. As for your husband, well, there's not much to expect from him.
One thing about me everybody should know is I'm not comfortable talking to the camera. You can probably tell by how nervous I sound. I love being in videos with Pat and Sarah, and I love going live with them. I'm just not comfortable talking to the camera. I'm fine on live, I just don't know.
See that last strain right there? It goes to show this is quite scripted. Her discomfort with facing the camera should be called into question at this point. While it's possible that she has an actual preference for staying invisible as much as possible, the fact that everything she's saying in the video appears to be scripted makes it a hard sell. It could very well have been Patrick's own calculated attempt at using a vulnerable Teresa to put out a response, to awkwardly answer the questions everyone was asking about why his wife was barely ever involved in their public life, and to explain away the obvious reason he had a much closer, better on-screen relationship with his daughter than he ever did with his actual wife.
Why? I'm trying to be better. I know you all want to see me and I want to be more involved. Right now I do the recording. I'm always behind the camera and I'm so proud of Pat and Sarah. They are the dream team and it makes me so happy to see them grow. Come back tomorrow and meet the next member of our family. Until then,
remember to
stay positive and have an amazing day.
The whole thing was scripted to even involve a lie. Teresa is barely ever the one behind the camera. On most occasions, if she's not in front of the camera, she's not present at all. For their live streams, when Patrick is trying to snuggle with his daughter, their camera is usually placed on a table. In most of their videos, the camera never moves at all, proof that whatever is holding it is very stable and in a fixed position.
Get quiet for a while now. I've watched the internet attack my daughter and my husband, and it's really pissing me off, but I stay quiet. I am done staying quiet. What the hell is wrong with you people? My husband is the sweetest and kindest man. He would never have lied, let alone his family. Come on, guys. If you ever met him and actually knew him, you would think so too. Now, because I choose not to be on camera, everybody thinks I'm forced not to be on camera. Bitch, nobody forces me to do anything. I don't like being on camera a lot. I tend to get flustered, so I'd rather stay in the background. I had to write a script to get this out so it doesn't seem so jumbled. And it doesn't help that I'm downright pissed off. Also, just because I'm a kind and caring person and have a sweet personality, it doesn't mean that I'm pushover or mentally delayed. As you can see, I have a tough side. If you mess with my family, you'll see more of it than you want to. So, back off. Sarah has her channel here, Patrick has his cooking channel, and I'm here to support them. Not because I'm jealous or forced to, it's because I want to. And if you don't like it, scroll. I might start posting on my channel again. I will not go live. I'm just not interested in that. When I do start posting, Sarah will put my channel in her link tree. Oh, and for those idiots who think my daughter and my husband are mean to me, grow the fuck up and get a clue! We tease and joke around with each other all the time. Sarah is an incredible daughter, and Patrick is a wonderful husband and a great father. So all you trolls can shut the fuck up and leave us alone!
Another scripted defense of the iconic duo. They couldn't make it more obvious if they tried. Teresa is someone more known to be a sweet person, and this is honestly the only video you'll see of her sounding so pissed and upset. The same can't be said for Patrick and Sarah. The video had too many points where clips were cut and pieced together. There's no coherent flow of thoughts, as would have been the case with someone who actually sat down to speak from the heart. At some point when the Purity Ring proposal video got a lot of backlash, Patrick also used Teresa to cover for himself.
I own up to my mistakes. Well, honestly, to be perfectly honest, that whole Purity Ring video started with Teresa, actually. She had the idea, because she had a friend who had a Purity Ring, and I didn't even know they existed, really, until she told me about it. So when Teresa told me about the Purity Rings, I decided, okay, well, let's get her one. And then she made the suggestion that I do it like a proposal, you know, kind of make her feel really...
The easiest target in the family, used over and over again just because she can't make those decisions herself. It's sickening, but it is what it is. A user who seemed to know Teresa on a more personal level made a more descriptive comment about how things played out between Teresa and Patrick, and the family's concerns. That's exactly what happened with Teresa. She went back to work at McDonald's. I used to live with her and date her brother. We used to take her to work and drop her off and pick her up. All of a sudden, she started talking to this guy named Patrick, and I guess she went to school with him for a short time. But she didn't know who he was until she started McDonald's, and then she suddenly just moved out and wanted to be with him all the time. And her mother and father tried to stop it, but there was nothing we could do because she was an adult, but she is slow. If nothing else speaks to the fact that Teresa has always been in a position where she needs help, This makes it very clear. What would make a lady up and leave her house suddenly and not want to return? Could it be that just like Sarah, Teresa was groomed by Patrick? The user went on to write, "I've tried to talk to her, but she just won't come to her senses that Patrick is a bad person. Her brother has seen some of the videos that the Dream Team has put up there with his niece, and he is not a happy camper. We've been trying our hardest to get Sarah, her brother, and Teresa out of that situation, and we're hoping that Patrick goes to jail or something like that, because that's the only way to get Teresa back up to Vermont where she belongs, near her family." So the family dynamic is now painfully clear. And we finally have our answer as to why Teresa just sits and passively allows these things to happen. She can barely do a single thing about all this chaos. She seems completely powerless within her own home. And that perverted dad is deliberately taking full advantage of the entire situation to slowly groom his own daughter. Yes, you heard that right. He is actively grooming his daughter right in front of everybody. Sexual grooming is the action or behavior used to establish an emotional connection with a vulnerable person, generally a minor under the age of consent, to lower their inhibitions with the objective abuse. Simply put, it's a mental manipulation that makes the person being manipulated open to abuse. And it's done in a very subtle manner. In Sarah's case, her father is the groomer, and she is the unlucky young girl whose mind has been made to accept the sad reality as the norm. The thing with degeneracy is that you really can't tell how far it can go once you start. And that's the case with the daddy-daughter team. If you thought that the cringe and disturbing TikTok videos were the worst thing about this family, well, sit tight, it's about to get even worse. The rabbit hole goes way deeper than you could imagine. In December, Sarah posted a video of her dancing to a song called "You Calm the Storm" by an AI artist named Ariella Brigman. She used the song in several videos. Sarah was the only one to have ever used the song on TikTok. Now, if you know anything about TikTok, you would know it's quite difficult finding a song that was used by just one person. And that's what makes this detail very interesting. Being the only person to have used the song on her TikTok account makes it easy to tell that she was very likely the only person on the app who knew where it came from. We'll see why this is important to the story shortly. Upon searching the name, a Redditor found an Instagram profile for this Ariella Brigman bot. It posted NSFW photos with flirty captions, and the bio contained hobbies such as Monster Hunter, a game the Getchels are known to be fans of. Redditors also noticed that Patrick, Sarah, and Teresa all followed Ariella and regularly interacted with her posts through likes and comments. Unfortunately, the Ariella Brigman account on Instagram has been set to private and most of the content deleted, so there isn't much information that can be gotten from it at this time. But the bio is still intact, and we can see the reference to Monster Hunter, and the comment about living the dream reminds you of a certain dream team, a very unlikely coincidence. Then an Ariella fan view page was found, a Venmo account with the location listed as Dallas, Texas, and the cover photo set to their book, Firebound Harmony. A Reddit profile and Linktree were all uncovered. When someone posted screenshots of this in April 2025 onto Reddit, within minutes these accounts were disappearing. Seems like they didn't expect it to be found out so quickly, but they were swift in their attempts at covering their tracks. While it's still unclear at this point who exactly was the mastermind behind the creation of those accounts, it is easiest to believe that the man of the house set it all up. Patrick and Sarah have since denied it was ever them, and said it was a troll who made these accounts that they just happened to follow. That really makes no sense. Why would an entire family follow accounts that were made to troll them? What benefits could there possibly be in following an account like that? And mind you, they were actively interacting with comments from those accounts, liking and leaving comments. If it were a troll creating these accounts, why did they go down when the Getchell family was called out for owning them? The work of a troll is to tarnish the image of whoever is being trolled. So that whole lie doesn't add up at all.
First of all, he isn't doing things. Second, I don't think it's concern at all, because if it was, then it would have stopped on the now 10 or more occasions when I've made a video specifically stating that nothing's going on and I'm fine. The problem is that you people are so afraid to be wrong that you come up with all these incredibly wrong excuses like, oh, I must be groomed, or it's so normal for me that I just can't see it, I must have Stockholm Syndrome, and a dozen other excuses. The truth is, you want there to be some scandal. That's why someone from Reddit created that AI account and tried to make people believe.
The trail of evil doesn't end there with this family. A Literotica account was discovered which was linked to them. If you're unfamiliar with what Literotica is, It's a website where people upload adult content in the form of stories. The account name was Babe for Dad. The profile picture used for this account is almost an exact match to the picture that Patrick and Sarah used for the cover of their book, Firebound Harmony, an AI-generated image of a princess with red hair and a dragon, and the account name clearly points to the disturbing fact that it's about a girl and her dad. There are just too many alleged coincidences in all of this for it to be pointing to nothing. In a case as sensitive as this, you would be forced to wonder why she decided to respond from the angle of there not being evidence against Patrick, instead of just sticking to denying that any of the things they were being accused of was actually done by them. It's almost like she's goading them, daring them to find enough evidence against them. And maybe then they would be justified enough in bringing such heavy accusations. But the evidence already laid out is very telling and hard to dissociate from the family. An NSFW Instagram account followed by the whole family, a FanView account and Linktree that have the details of the family linked to them, a Literotica account with the same picture of the book the Dream Team published. It's difficult to dismiss all these things being false, and the family has done nothing in the way of clearing their name. In August 2025, a TikToker uncovered 2 Literotica accounts, one created in 2024 under the name Miss Ariella with the same AI photo. Again, we're back to the Ariella train stop. The fact that this name keeps coming up with regard to this family alone almost seals their fate with whatever accusations or allegations are brought up against them. The bio said female 21 and listed reptiles under pets. While the Getchels aren't the only family on Earth with reptiles as pets, it's a noteworthy mention that just like other facts have been connected to them so far, this is another thing they share in common with these accounts they would like us to believe were created by trolls. Patrick even has a pet snake.
Say hi, princess. Hi, princess. Hi, baby girl. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. You are. Yeah, you're so sweet. Yeah. You sweet girl. Yeah, you sweet girl.
This account has a story about a dad and daughter love story, with explicitly inappropriate details and parallels to the Dream Team, such as allusions to Monster Hunter and more. Another account under the name Babe for Dad, who followed Ariella, was found, with more graphic stories about dad and daughter relations. When talks of this began on August 4th, the Dream Team TikTok account was swiftly deleted, which many see as an admission of guilt. If you're not guilty, why take down your main social media account while still denying any involvement with these accounts? Another thing that makes it hard to separate Sarah and Patrick from the Ariella account is that in their book, Firebound Harmony, the name of the princess is Aurelia, almost like this was the one time they thought of hiding their trail, albeit in a quite unwise way. Aurelia and Aurelia sound very much alike, the kind of relationship viewers already suspected was being engaged in over at the Getchels' residence made these revelations more disturbing. The accusations of immoral affairs and activities started to look less like mere accusations and more like the reality of things behind closed doors. For a relationship already receiving great backlash, why fuel the flames by creating such accounts and putting out those horrible stories? In an interview where he would eventually make some serious confession, the stance he took on the creation of many NSFW accounts was that it couldn't have been him because he was unable to keep the AI images used as profile pictures consistent. A very illogical argument, but that was his argument regardless.
Actually make the same face appear every single time with different poses, different positions. I don't know how that's done. I've made AI photos, yes. My second book cover, the dragon, I generated that with AI. But I put the same prompt in 10 times and got 10 different dragons. I don't know how to make it consistent. That's my problem, is like
Basically what he says is that since he cannot consistently make the same images, he couldn't have been the one creating the profile pictures used, seeing as they were somewhat consistent in appearance. While his claim cannot be so boldly discarded, there is a possibility that it could also still be a lie. Knowing the kind of person Patrick is, lying is not a vice that is far from him, so we would be unwise to totally believe him. All the while, Sarah and Patrick maintained a firm stand. denying any connection to or involvement with the Ariella Brigman accounts, and the Literotica accounts also. But in this interview they had with a YouTuber called Hannah, Patrick confessed.
You know what? Fuck it. Honestly, yeah, I created the Ariella account. I made that account.
Patrick, thank you. You have been set free, man. You're set free. Doesn't that feel good? Sarah, give your father a...
Finally, after so many denials, which absolutely nobody believed, Patrick decided to own up to creating the Ariella account. This confession did not come easy though. Hannah had to butter him up a whole lot.
I feel like it is. But if it is you, like I said, there's nothing illegal on it, so why not just tell the truth? It's going to help you. I promise you, if you were just honest about it, people will respect you and people will back off of you. People are not going to let this go. And I'm here with you with 4.5 thousand people, and there's 14,000 people on Reddit who are coming at you hard. They're coming for the jugular with you. And they're not going to let up because they feel like they just want a little bit of the truth. You don't want to share everything? That's fine. You don't have to. That's your prerogative. But just this one thing. I guarantee you, if you're honest,
someone might have actually believed that Hannah was on their side. But well, it seems like it was all just to get him to publicly speak the truth, and she succeeded. While Patrick admitted to being the one who created the Ariella account, he still maintained that he had nothing to do with the Literotica accounts.
And if you want me to be completely honest, I was really close to telling the truth until the Literotica account was found. And that scared the hell out of me.
Because he thought that people were gonna think that was him, and when he told me that people had a Literotica account, he told me he was scared because he thought that people were gonna connect that with him, and because he knows he can't write that stuff, that's what scared him, is because they thought it would be connected to him, and he knows, we all know for a fact that he could never ever write that stuff.
So I'm a writer, but not of that.
Unfortunately, this sob story does not add up. It literally makes no sense whatsoever. How do you claim that you're unable to write explicit stuff when the entire issue with the Ariella account is the fact that it was all about NSFW pictures and captions? Just like he bought his time before confessing to being the one behind the Ariella account, he is buying time again. He'll definitely come out and own up to everything if this whole saga continues long enough. From the interview, one thing is made clear again, and it's the disturbing fact that the relationship between Patrick and Sarah is off. Many times, he had to look at her for some form of validation. Other times, she would cut him off and speak on his behalf. It's creepy to see that kind of relationship between a father and his daughter. The sad part is that Sarah seems far gone at this point, almost like nobody can talk her out of this delusion she has come to know and believe to be the reality.
I get a lot of content on my FYP about the dad and daughter dream team, Patrick and Sarah. Something I think is really missing from this conversation is that what we see is abuse. It doesn't have to go farther behind closed doors for it to be abuse. The way that Patrick looks at Sarah's body inappropriately is emotional sexual abuse. The various, endless ways that he treats her more like a wife than a daughter is emotional incest. And Sarah's brain has developed under all of this chronic abuse. So when people act like she is responsible for this, you have no understanding of these types of traumas. All that I see in her behavior is evidence of her trauma. A very common feature of emotional incest is that the kids feel very special because they are feeling so close and kind of put on a pedestal or treated like a little princess or like mom's little man or whatever. Parts of it are designed to feel very good to the kids. It's basically grooming, and grooming is emotional sexual abuse, by the way. And when somebody experiences a type of chronic abuse that has frequent elements that feel good to them, it is extra hard for them to wake up and see that their family dynamic was abusive. The fact that they are pretty isolated makes this even more likely for her to not see. The fact that the internet is often quite harsh to them, including to her as the victim, probably creates this like us versus them thing, which keeps her further isolated and more likely to keep buying Patrick's narrative. I realized that she's 22 or something, like she's technically an adult, but she is a lifelong victim, and it makes sense that she is responding the way that.
This has to be one of the best commentaries made on this issue. It's an abuse that has been ingrained into her sense of self, such that she sees no wrong in it. But the fact still remains that abuse is abuse, whether or not the victim knows that they're suffering from it. We can only hope that someone comes to the rescue of this family and actually saves them from the hold of manipulation Patrick has over every one of them.